Historically, Austin, it was because of the river barrier, most of the original development was on the other side. So this was always considered the backwoods area of Austin. Right where the house was built, they had cut down just literally only a handful of trees. And so all the trees that remained give it this feel like it's literally tucked into the trees, where literally every window that you look out, it feels like you're in a treehouse. This neighborhood actually, historically, was the other side of the river, so there was very little access to it when the city was developed back in the mid-1800s, because there was only one bridge. So this was sort of this forest area on this side. So this was a forest from, way back in the day. So, and there are many, there are beautiful trees here, but there are some, in other parts of the neighborhood that literally are the size of a car practically. This house was built by Harold Blackshear for his parents. He was an engineering student, and his parents were like, we have this lot, you need something to do, we need a house, build us a house. This is the story he told me. His father was a primitive Baptist minister. And so a total minimalist, kind of lifestyle and everything else. When Harold was building this house, his father got him a couple trailers full of lumber because a cotton gin had been torn down. So everything that you see was because of the size of the things they had. So for example, the low carport was because he had only certain size pieces of wood to work with. But that timber, it was very, very strong, longleaf pine from the late 1800s. So that's what the house is framed with. And then they stuccoed it to sort of make it look like everything was smooth and modern in this Bauhaus style. So some of the things, this upstairs was a rental. This was a fire escape that they got it salvaged because they were running out of money to build the place. And so many of the things at the end were done that way.
This was originally a green roof, or?
No, it's been the tar and gravel roof. The sedum is from plants that I had that have grown. And I know that it's not damaging it because the roots are about that, literally half an inch deep. In redoing it, all the wood, none of that was here originally. It was sort of this exercise in keeping the best of what was here and then, making it very sort of modern and updated. So for example, in this space, the Murphy bed keeps this a really flexible space. There's a handle on the end here. It's heavy, but it does move. The curtain track, this multi-purpose track that, because the walls are stucco, it's difficult to put nails in. So it's an art track for curtains, as well as a painting trick to make the ceilings feel taller, borrowed from Frank Lloyd Wright. When you paint the color above that horizontal line that is dropped, the same as the color of the ceiling in the room, it makes the ceilings feel taller, because it tricks your eye to think that the ceiling is at the level of wherever the color changes.
So for example, here,
if we had painted if this track was not here and the ceiling color changed at the corner of the wall, it would actually feel like the room was lower. But because the track is here and the color comes down, the ceiling feels taller and lighter. When this was divided into an apartment originally, there was a wall here that I removed because it divided what was the kitchen space from the bedroom. And it didn't really have a proper closet, so it needed closet space as well as a better functioning kitchen. And then this space that was this bedroom was really claustrophobic, even though it has this spectacular view and, you know, treehouse feel because it was so small. So everyone wanted to be in this corner, which is amazing. And so I opened it up so that you could experience this corner and the openness pretty much all the time. Yeah, so all of the cabinetry is all 100% new. The thing that is original here in this kitchen is this backsplash tile.
The color's interesting.
Yeah, that's original. Well, it was here and I thought, you know, I wanted to keep it. Yeah, this added this big window and the mirror, you know, with storage hiding it. But where it feels like the whole thing is a big lit up space for a small kitchen. This house, when it was built, because of the hill, the way the house is sited on the hill, sort of built into the hill, it gives it like this of the earth. You can feel it anchored sort of into the earth. And then up here, where literally every window that you look out, it feels like you're in a treehouse, like you're literally seeing the trees. There's pretty much whatever neighbors there are have no view in. And so it's kind of a spectacular space for that reason too. The bathroom, I was able to utilize the same footprint of the room and make it feel about twice as big by shifting, you know, this is all storage, but the sink was here and took what was a little teeny tiny window that ended here and bumped it all out to make it have this really open feel with the open corner of window.
If you look out here, I mean, nobody can see you. You don't see any windows. There's no way that someone could.
Right, yeah. And literally no one can see in.
And you do feel like you're floating above, sort of in the canopy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just storage that is tucked in everywhere, maximized for as much depth as there was to add storage, because there was really no storage in the house at all. And again, here too, you know, storage for everything. The tile, because it was in good condition, I wanted to preserve that piece of it. Many people called me crazy for saving it. This upstairs was originally designed as a single room. Before they ever occupied it, though, they decided they would like a rental. And so they changed their plan midstream, and it was always a rented apartment, like from day one when they first moved in. There's a door at the top of the stairs that was wired shut in 1952 when they moved in and not opened until I bought it in 2013. This door was always here.
Okay.
The stairway was here and was so cool. Like it literally never got used when it was occupied previously, except people like used this upper part as their storage. It was like this total dark hole and just made it flow into a really cool space. Bauhaus, it's usually a lot of sort of open window spaces and a very simple aesthetic. So yeah, this kitchen, it was the same location of the kitchen, but I opened it with this much larger window where it feels like it is part of the backyard. I absolutely love it getting to, like there's birds out there right now. And I specifically picked the stainless counters because it was a lighter material. Doing stone or something just felt like it was too heavy for the house. The wood too, often in modern design, you would use a walnut that is a very clear grain. And I thought about doing that, but I discovered this knotty walnut and thought it was a better fit for sort of the earthiness of the house.
Yeah, you see the tree there.
Exactly, yeah. In redoing this, I knew that I wanted to re-insulate the ceiling and it all needed to be rewired and, you know, moving this exhaust and all that. So I removed the ceiling in here completely, you know, knowing that I was going to update it. thinking that I was going to expose the wood beams that frame this. Right. So I would have a little bit of a raised, feeling in here and see the natural wood on the ceiling, those beams. When I opened it up, I discovered, the nature of the tools that he had when he was building it were very rough. And so all of those wood beams, structurally sound, none of them, not a single one, was show ready. And so I was like, okay, well, what do? I like the idea of getting this extra height, but it wasn't going to be seeing the wood beams. So I was inspired by this original concrete shelf. This space was actually outside originally. It was a screened in area for the laundry, and the water heater was out here. A little storage, but I maxed out this storage, like literally, everything, shoes, there's a place to plug in the vac and toys, and the laundry is back in this corner.
That's great.
And this pull out goes back 4 feet deep.
Wow, so that inspired.
That was the inspiration. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, it's actually framed with wood. It is heavy because it is concrete, but it's actually not solid. And I did get my extra height. Yeah, bedrooms are very basic.
You still feel a bit above things here, even though you're floor down.
Yeah, and it's like you're sort of at, in the garden here. This little original classic phone nook, I actually rewired it with USB plugs. And then bathroom has the original tile, and again, maxing out storage that goes for days. This drawer too, there's storage back here, storage here, more storage, so.
Storage and marriage, they go together.
What they do, yeah. Added a couple of feet to the space by moving the sink and taking in what was already under the cover of the roof. This is another bedroom, very simple, but also it definitely has a treehouse feel.
Do your kids like this room?
Yeah, they love it. I had to ban them from opening the windows and crawling out.
Somehow modern architecture did play more with the levels on the same floor. It does up this sort of perspective. It makes the experience richer in a way, right?
Right.
But you don't see them.
You don't see it very much.
But you kept it.
Well, yeah, this house was built to really fit with the lot. That's why it has the multiple levels. There's actually another apartment that was carved out below this.
I love that there's even storage under the.
Oh yeah. Every place I could got storage.
That was all you.
There was actually a stair that went up there, was over here. And so in taking that out, I really wanted this flow of the stairs to go. And it gave this where the dining room got bigger by several feet.
Nice. Love these chairs too.
That's actually one of the first pieces of furniture that I designed and built.
You do your own furniture? You make it?
I did make that, yeah, many years ago. It's practically an antique now. That's how old it is. It has been in every house that I've ever owned.
They could be designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm definitely a student. I take a lot of liberties and inspiration from Frank Lloyd Wright.
Are you a designer then?
Yeah, well, architectural designer. That's what I've done for the last 20 plus years. This is the longest I've ever been in one place. I noticed this place in 1989 when I was visiting Austin. I was riding my bike up this hill and saw this place, literally sort of stopped in front of it and said, wow, that place needs me. I like to say we're very spoiled here because we're a mile from downtown. and yet you can be in a place like this that feels like you are truly in the trees and connected to nature.